Welcome to the bonus episode of the Process Automation podcast from ABB. We are going to be joined by Sanjit Shewale, head of the digital business line at ABB Process Industries, who we heard from in our previous episode where we asked, can industrial facilities be operated remotely? Welcome, Sanjit. Could you start by, in one sentence, tell us what your job title is?
I'm the global head of digital in the process industries, which covers the mining, cement, metals, pulp and paper, and hybrid industries.
Okay, now in two sentences, can you explain what does that actually mean?
Well, it really means having the digitalization of our customers, understood, and us to basically provide the services, provide the technology for them. And in addition to this, we are also providing all the, support, the technologies, enabling them to basically have a better strategy going forward in a multi-year environment.
Understood. Now, in three sentences, how does what you do specifically affect me and affect the planet?
Wow. Okay. So I think the way I would really answer this is, one, it's going to allow for our very, very, I would say comprehensive data that's basically, all over the place with our customers and in different locations come into a centralized location. Secondly, we're able to use that data. It helps us, it helps you, it helps me, it helps, all the operators, the engineers to use that data, synthesize it to make better decisions out of that. Thirdly, I would say it lets us now operate different areas, different sites, which are, in some cases, thousands of miles away. We're able to actually view, operate, optimize in a centralized location, allowing for remote operations. I think this has been one of the biggest benefits.
So now we're going to head into the statements, and I'm going to give you three statements, but I'm going to give you the first one first because that's how it works, right? So statement one. Remote operations, which is what you're about. So remote operations help get people out of the hazards way and create opportunities for a more diverse workforce. Is that a truth or a lie?
Truth. So to expand further, this really allows us the operators, the customers, to operate machinery assets, such as compressors, pumps, because we can now remotely connect to those. We can service them, we can troubleshoot them. So this allows us to basically do this from a remote location, from a centralized location. Secondly, it allows us to access physical areas in facilities which we never were able to before. So I think this is a huge benefit, especially now that we're basically going to further areas of the planet and trying to find whether it's minerals, whatever it may be. I think this is very important that we're now able to go to those physical locations in a remote manner.
But I suppose because of this remote operations happening, it means that to actually be able to work on the machinery that is out there at these other places, it allows for different kinds of people to be able to do that before couldn't actually get to those places.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, it allows for new people coming into the industry. It allows for them to learn about those areas, train faster, because you're able to basically do it from a remote location rather than all the time required, maybe going to those sites, spending extended periods of time there. You're able to do this sometimes in the comfort of your own home.
Exactly. And that means that a more diverse range of people can actually do those roles.
Yeah. And I think this is what's making it also exciting for the new people coming into this industry, that it is possible to be working in the mining industry and to be able to connect to these mines that are thousands of miles away. And so, yes, you're absolutely right. It's bringing in a completely diverse workforce into this industry.
How exciting. And an industry that has stayed the same in terms of the workforce for many, many years and is now, this change is happening right now. But moving on to statement 2, which is remote operations can help reduce negative environmental impact. Is that a truth or a lie, Sanjit?
Can help reduce, absolutely true. We are now being able to collect sustainability data, emissions data, energy source data, be it electricity, be it your water usage. So this is very important, and it's going to help us more and more now. Also provide the data that's required in your sustainability reports, right, which is now mandatory. I think secondly, I think we are able to also allow the customers to benchmark the different sites remotely without having to travel to those sites. I mean, this is a big issue, as you know. Traveling to sites has a significant environmental impact. So to be able to avoid those or minimize them anyway is certainly contributing to the benefits now in sustainability.
And it's that age-old saying, isn't it? If you want to reduce it, you've got to start by measuring it. And here you've got these sensors measuring all kinds of different parameters, environmental parameters. And by measuring it, you can then reduce it and reduce it remotely.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, you can only do that once you see it. So you need the data in front of you to be able to do that. And more importantly, it has to be the right data. As you know, is when you have data from the different facilities, different sites, even from a central location, from the corporate location, you're able to compare the different sites, to benchmark them, to see what's good practices, and apply them to the other sites. So I think this is really helping our customers. So usually what's happening is we start with one site from a customer, get that connected. And once we make that successful, now we start to implement into the other facilities as well.
Brilliant. It's that networked learning, I suppose. So moving on to statement 3. And statement 3 is this. Remote operations fully remove the need for humans to do the work. Is that a truth or a lie?
Lie. I think, that is a misconception. What will happen is that the jobs that are repetitive, we're going to optimize by, of course, with this remote operations, by the aspects of digitalization, the technologies in digitalization. However, those roles are going to themselves advance, and you're going to get opportunities to learn new technology because you still have to drive the remote operations. You still need to understand the way to execute in this new environment, and you have to understand the technology. So I think it's going to create new jobs. It's going to expand existing jobs. It's also going to make it more exciting for that industry, meaning for people to get attracted to come into that industry, because that's one of the biggest challenges our industry has is, attracting especially the younger generation to come into this environment. And one thinks, I'm going to join this. Do I have to go to a mine thousands of miles away? No, not necessarily. You are able to do this now in this remote environment.
And in terms of this space, there's obviously so much going on here. Sanjit, what are you most excited about when it comes to the future of remote operations?
Okay. I always think about the new generation coming into this industry. And I think showing them, maybe not all of them understand what happens in the mining environment or similar industries. And the technology that we use, generative AI was, recently introduced, and it has adapted very quickly. We're already using it. The mining industry is using it. The whole cloud technologies, the artificial intelligence, machine learning, all of this fancy, technology that's come out recently, it's being used in mining. It's being used in similar industries. And I'm excited for this new workforce, new generation, and existing, don't get me wrong, even the existing, because it provides opportunities for them to really understand what we're doing here and for them to come into this. They're the important part of this whole industry going forward, and making it, the second part, which I find exciting, is making it sustainable. So all this technology is allowing for this, everyone always thinks of these industries, mining, be it cement, steel, whatever it might be, that yes, this is causing emissions. It's not good for the environment, but I think that it's here to stay. So it is very important that the generation coming in make this sustainable, and we have the technologies to now make it sustainable, because we need mining, and I do believe that we're from a technology curve, exactly what we're implementing, what we use, we're up there in what's being used.
What an exciting time to be in these industries, because like you say, these are industries that are needed, that as humans, we use the things that come from these industries. And what you're saying is that by using the technology that comes with these remote operations, you are making these jobs not only more accessible, you're not only making the processes more sustainable, but you're also making the job roles more appealing. So it means that it gets the workforce that it needs. Thank you so much for joining me, Sanjit.
Great. Thank you, Fran. Thank you.
That is it for this episode. Of course, a massive thank you to our guest today. I'm Fran Scott, and the Process Automation Podcast is a Fresh Air production for ABB. Follow now for free wherever you get your podcasts, so you never miss an episode.